So he's doing much better today. This is day 3. Is it day 3?
Yeah.
Okay. It's day 3. And he's doing much better today. He's happy. He's not quite back to himself, but he greeted Tyson at the door today, was really excited to see him. Look at him falling asleep right now. He's on some serious pain medication. He'll be on some pain medication for the next 7 days, but we got this, buddy, don't we? He hasn't quite put his foot down yet, which I'm not expecting to see till probably about a week from now. But we're looking forward to getting him back to his happy puppy self. My boy Wendell.
There it is. Apple Watch Series 3. 4K subscriber giveaway. Get subscribed. Let's do it. What's up? What's up, guys? Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Just heading down to that mulching job site, that road that I'm mulching. And I figured I would make a update on the 550. I bought the truck in was it March or April? So May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So this is it's like an 8-month review of my 2017 F550 6.7 Powerstroke cab and chassis. It's the long wheelbase and the 19.5 GVW. I picked this truck up in Manitoba. I actually purchased it through my dealer, from a dealer in Regina. They drove it as far as Winnipeg. And then I flew up and picked it up and drove it from Winnipeg to Halifax. And I didn't really know what to expect as far as ride goes and how it was going to feel and all that sort of stuff. Because I had never driven a 550 before. I'd driven a 450 with the conventional pickup truck box, a dually. But I'd never driven a cab and chassis 550. Obviously the suspension is heavier. But when I jumped in it, the roads in Winnipeg are absolutely horrible. They are terrible. And yes, it was rough. And you know, this truck is very stiff because it's meant to haul a lot of weight. And you know, it's a workhorse. So the truck is very stiff, and yes, it was very stiff, but it drove very nice. And of course, with the wider front axle in the front, it turns very sharp. It's very easy to maneuver. With the long wheelbase, you really got to watch your box, because the box, the flat deck, does stick out a bit further. So when you're turning in a parking lot, or you're going through a Tim Hortons drive-through or anything like that, you really have to watch your back end when you make a sharp turn, because it comes around really quickly, and you can short side a lot of turns that way, a lot of objects that way. So I drove it home, and it was very pleasant to drive the whole way home. Obviously no issues with it. It's the 488 gears, so it's geared very high. You know, you're up in 6th gear when you're doing, well, right now I'm doing 70 kilometers an hour. I'm in 6th gear. It hops through the gears very quick. This is a tow rig for me. So the story behind this truck is I travel all over the Atlantic Maritime provinces, and I do vegetation management mainly to remote locations. And Last year was the first year I had my machine. I used to do it by hand. Last year was the first year that I had my machine, and I had a tandem, International 9100 series tandem, with a tri-axle float that I floated my 8-ton Kubota around with. And that worked great, you know. I bought the dump truck for that reason, but also I do road repairs too. Like if I'm at a site and I'm doing mulching and the road needs to be repaired, then I'll just take the mulching attachment off and put the bucket on and fix the road up. So I bought the tandem, you know, because, okay, I'm gonna do road repairs, I should have a tandem, that way I can get my own material, and, you know, that's the way to go. But in reality, it's just cheaper and more sort of efficient to find a local quarry in that area to deliver me the fill versus me get it myself. So I always had to have a second truck go around with the machine, because trying to check into a hotel and, you know, pick up groceries and stuff like that with the tandem is not exactly ideal. So I said, okay, how can I make this better? How can I do this so I can send one guy in a truck, or 1 or 2, 3, 4 guys in a truck with their luggage, and, you know, everything will be good. So they're making these vehicles, you know, they're rating them for more and more weights all the time. So I said, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy a 450 or 550, and I'm gonna get a 30K gooseneck trailer, and that's what I'm gonna do, and that's gonna get my machine around. They can unhook the trailer, they can check into the hotels, they can do whatever they want. I bought the 550 with the flat deck on back so that I can mount toolboxes on back. I got my saws in there, I got all of my tools, extra teeth, hydraulic fluid, you know, all that stuff is all on the back of the truck, and I still have tons of room to spare. Tons of room to spare. I can put a pallet back there. I hauled a couple of sheets of plywood the other day with some lumber in between the toolboxes. It's great. So for me, this is a tow rig. It tows my excavator and my trailer, which is 30,000 pounds, pretty much all the time. The only time it doesn't is if I drop the machine off at a site and I'm using this truck to go back and forth, then it gets a little bit of a break. So the truck has 30,000 kilometers on it right now, and I would say 20,000 of those have been towing 30K. And the truck works great. I have posted a few videos up of me towing. I'll put them at the end of this video so you can check those out. The exhaust brake works great. The downshift works great. The truck itself, power-wise, works great. Obviously, it'd work better if I put a little tune on it and I up the horsepower and torque a little bit, because they have these dialed down to 350 or 330 horsepower and like 800 foot-pounds of torque. So they have these dialed down a bit so that the engines, you know, typically will last longer in these trucks versus the 250s, 350s, 450s, because they got them cranked up quite a bit and there's a lot of torque and a lot of horsepower there. But, you know, an extra 30, 40 more horsepower would make this truck even better. But it's stock right now, and it absolutely does the trick. There's no problems with it whatsoever. You know, on the highway, sure, and big hills, it will slow down, but if you manually shift it and you know the hill's coming, you can gain a little bit of speed and you can control the shifts yourself. You can do a little bit better job than what the truck does, because the truck can't see what's in front of it. But the truck actually itself does a pretty good job on its own. So towing wise, it's been great. It handles the weight very well. Issues that I've had with the truck, I had just a rear end seal. So I had a rear end seal leak, and it wasn't much of a leak, but it was a small leak. So I took it into Ford. Of course, I told them what it was before, but as all dealerships nowadays, they don't take your word for anything, and they want to look at it for themselves. So I took it in, and they called me, an hour and a half later. Yeah, you have a rear end seal leak, and you need a new seal. I said, yep. I told you that 4 days ago. We have to order the seal. So come on. that was a pain in the butt for sure. So then I had to come get the truck, bring the truck back a few days later, get the seal leak done. When I clearly told them it was leaking beforehand, they could have ordered the seal, and if for some reason I'm a complete idiot and it wasn't a seal leak, then they have one on hand. Like, these differentials, you know, the rear ends, they're they're not like they're that, you know, they're not extinct. You're gonna use that seal somewhere. But anyway, so that was a pain in the butt. So I had that seal leak done, and other than that, no problems at all. The first oil change I did, it was just the conventional Ford oil. Now I am burning Mobil 1 full synthetic in it, and it's actually due for an oil change, you know, right now. I'm actually going to be changing the oil and the fuel filters in a couple days. It's got 30,000 kilometers on it right now. The fuel filters could wait a little bit, but I'm just gonna get it all done at one time. It's sort of getting winter time down here, and I do like to, as much as I can, get the trucks, you know, sort of topped up, peak performance before winter hits. Just so, you know, this truck might do a little bit of sitting around this winter, but that way it's, you know, it's ready to go whenever. But I'll probably be using this truck quite a bit for the power outages and you know, things like that, because it's a nice heavy truck. I can honestly throw like 5 generators on back and strap them down, and I wouldn't even really need a trailer as long as I had 2 guys. You know, 2 guys can lift the generators up on the flat deck. But that's you know, that's cool. But honestly, guys, my experience with the truck so far has been great. I mean, time will tell how it holds up. Transmission, you know, engine, differentials, transfer case, you know, all that sort of stuff that's going to be under strain towing that much weight. Time will tell how it holds up to, you know, towing that weight over, you know, over a few years. So the verdict isn't out on that yet, but so far so good. So 8-month review, 30,000 kilometers. Everything has been great. Everything here works great. You know, it's not a bad interior. The seats are comfortable. Air condition, obviously, power windows, power locks, cruise control. You know, Bluetooth, wireless, all that sort of stuff. It's not a bad interior really for, you know, a big heavy work truck. Tons of room. I've had my dog in here, 2 dogs in here. I've had 4 guys in here, and everyone's extremely comfortable. It was the absolute right purchase for me, and it's the right setup for what I do. So if you're wondering, hey, you know, do I have to have a tandem, or can I just buy something just to float my machine around? That's all I need, just get my machine around. I don't need a tandem. I don't need, you know, a single axle dump truck. I don't need any of that. I just need to get my machine from point A to point B safely and efficiently. Well, this is a great thing to look at. The 550s, the Ram 5500s, either one, you can't go wrong. So that's it. So guys, all good things so far. Like I said, time will tell. Stay tuned for more videos on this guy. But for now, that's gonna be it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet. We're getting close to 1,000 sub giveaway. Obviously the 4K giveaway for the Apple Watch, dreaming big. Everyone out there, have a fantastic day. If you work hard, good things will happen. Alright guys, take care, later. Guys, so here it is. Here's the interior. Just give you a quick show. It's obviously dirty in here right now. You know, dash stuff's all nice and clean, but rubber floor is a absolute must for a work truck in my mind. 4-wheel drive shift on the floor. You've got your 410 and your cigarette plug here. Air condition and your climate controls are all here. Radio controls are all here. There is no backup camera. Cruise control off, exhaust brake, you know, all that's, I mean, traction control, exhaust brake, all that sort of stuff's up here. This has the double glove compartments. The only downfall is that this is a bench seat, so there's not a lot of storage in here, but you know, it gets you by. There's enough. Loads and loads and loads of room. Tools and the dog blanket and stuff back here right now, but you fold these seats down. It's just like the other cabs. It shares the cab with the 150, 250, 350, 450, so there's tons and tons and tons of space in here. It's you know, soft touch material where you need it. It's a pretty comfortable truck, not bad at all. Styling wise, it actually looks pretty nice sitting in the driveway, to be honest, especially from the front with the big fender flares on the side for that wider front axle. But you can see, like, she's heavy duty springs. The front axle is very, very heavy. I mean, check that thing out. Very heavy. The suspension. Count the springs, guys. Count them for days. And then to even make it better, I've got the Firestone heavy-duty airbags on it. So this is the CM truck bed. I'll do a little sort of quick review on that coming up here soon. Climb through the bushes here. The mirrors are not telescopic on this truck. It's an XLT. Power seats, again, a must in my mind. So you're in here, it's nice and quiet. The soundproofing in these trucks is incredible. Power mirrors as far as tilting and stuff, but not telescopic. Your door locks are here. It has power foot pedals, and the steering wheel is manual tilt and telescopic. Your trailer brake controller there. But you know, not a bad spot to be, guys. It's quite comfortable. All your auxiliary switches are up here. Little LED lights shining in the cab. You got your little card holder here. But no, not bad at all, guys. Pretty comfortable. Definitely comfortable than my 2001 International 9100 series. So, you know, there's the interior. It is what it is. It's a work truck, but it's not bad at all. Not bad at all.